Okay, good morning, guys. Abigail Klutz here from Kansas City, Kansas, and I'm so excited to do this Zoom today. This topic is just near and dear to my heart, and I just keep feeling like I'm running into it everywhere from everyone. And when that happens, this actually started for me almost 6 weeks ago. And it's a topic that I have been working through, battling through, wrestling through, struggling through, conquering through, coming out victorious. And now it's time to just share, because when you can struggle, battle, conquer, you can't hear me? Thank you. How's that? Is that better? Everybody hear me? Okay, awesome. Oh, maybe you turn up your volume. I don't know. But you want to share that. You're fine. Okay, cool. All right. So the name of the game is called the comparison trap. And I know there's some men on here today, and I may accidentally use a lot of language. I'm sorry, Darren, like, lady boss or boss babe, and Kyle, you just ignore that. And I know men are, hey, Gavin, Milton, I know men are also, no offense, little boys. I know women are little girls, and I know that we all have some deep-rooted stuff going on. But I do know that it is a powerful battle of the mind with women, and I'm addressing it today because it will absolutely sabotage your business. And so let's get in there, let's struggle with it, let's battle it, let's be warriors, let's fight, and then let's go to work today. All right, so I'm going to tell you about the types of we all have these tape recorders. And if you've shown up to the MORE conference, it's a topic that Joseph McClendon has heavily addressed. And we don't just do it we do it to make people better, but we understand at the end of the day that if you don't conquer this battle and the disillusionment of the tapes and the lines that run through your mind, that you cannot go to work in not only this business, any business. And it will be the destruction of relationships and even in your family. And so, we gotta approach it. And it's that tape recorder that you have in your mind that tells you that you are something less than valued, that you are something less than a conqueror, that you are something less for designed with love and care and purpose. And it is something that will take you out of the opportunity of a lifetime right here and right now, based on what is going on from here to here. And so, today I just posted on my Facebook and I said, comparison, it's the thief of joy. And what can you identify right now that's going through your mind that is not serving you, that is not bringing you victory? And I hear it today. I got my thing turned up. And here's some of the lines that I heard back, and I wanted to read these because I need you with a pen and paper. And as I'm reading to you something, I want you to identify, you cannot battle if you cannot see the enemy. You cannot battle if you don't know where the fight is. And so the biggest victory in getting through something is identification. So listen to these, and maybe that they will resonate with you and say, I didn't know that's what I was struggling with, but here it is, and I'm struggling with that. What if I don't have what it takes to lead my team like she does? What if I don't have the same charisma, beauty, confidence? How could I do what she's done? Those are hard to write. Will I fail or disappoint those counting on me? I am not as educated. I'm not as smart. I don't have these business skills. I've not done MLM before. I'm not as qualified as others to help their health. Will people listen to me if I'm not as fit as them? Can I find a team? Will they even follow me? Do I have talents to share? Did God forget about me and give me talents to use? What if they'd rather follow that person than me? And then I got some private messages today that just like, I was like, wow, right on. I struggle with all of these. My personality, I feel I need to be shinier, more charismatic to be taken seriously. Guys, I feel that way. I feel like I'm not even fun. I feel like I'm not even funny. I feel like I'm so bossy and vision oriented, and that I can blow people out and not create energy and fun with people because I've not had fun for a long time. You manifest it. Body image, of course. I know I could do more. And if I was more confident in my body, I could be more. Intelligence. I know I'm smart and my opinion is valued, but when I listen to others sometimes, my brain doesn't get where they're at, or it hasn't gone there first, and I begin to compare. Number 4, things. It's a fact. I wish I knew how to buy things that made me look more put together. I'm not trendy, and it makes me feel intimidated or less than when I'm with a group of trendy women. Strengths. I look at other women, particularly leaders, and they are very put together emotionally and spiritually, at least it appears. And some days I'm hanging on by a thread emotionally. You don't necessarily know if it's true that they are sound, but I compare myself to them wishing I had it together. Holy mackerel. How many of you can identify to something that you heard on there? Okay. Let me tell you something. Sylvia, 2 weeks ago, when I had to get ready to lead a Zoom and we huddled right before, did I break down like an ugly mess with you? And you know what that woman did for me before I had to get on and perform at a high level? We sat there, we breathed. We related to each other because she's been through some of the things that I'm going through. And that sister prayed with me because I was a mess. But I had to pull it together for 30 minutes. And I'm a warrior, and I'll do that. And on days in this journey, when I've had to perform, because listen, there's life. And then this right here is the opportunity of a lifetime to give life. For me to watch my daughter twirl around in the fans and the sprinkler at a Royals game last night that I can afford to take us to. This right here is a life-giving opportunity. And on days when life beat me down, I had to make a choice to get up and go to work. Not let that take me out of the game. That's defeated. It's loser language. Don't put the objections in front of your victory that's right ahead. You've got to battle the mind because the mind will produce the actions. So today, I want you to listen to these statements. I want you to write down your statements. It may hurt. It may be ugly. But if you don't identify it, you cannot battle it. And if you don't battle it, you will not perform in your job here. If you don't perform in your job here, you won't seek the goal you said you wanted. It's one thing to cast a vision and to declare your dreams. It's another thing to take that step by step to Mount Kilimanjaro. And you can't take steps until you get all these obstacles out of your way. Are these statements serving you? Write them down. Do this assignment. And are they serving you? What have you allowed in your life? Because whatever it is that you're struggling with, if you're not battling it, here's what it comes down to. It's manifesting in your business. It's manifesting in you. Guys, I had a slump this year full of heaviness and depression. And I was getting up and I was doing the job and I was barely making the minimum NV to hit the share pole. I mean, I was battling for what I wanted, and it wasn't coming from a place of peace and happiness. But guess what? If I didn't do it then, I'd be disconnected and out of the game now. And sometimes it just doesn't flow easily, but you've got to keep battling through it, because you will come through the storm. Okay? But you have to battle on the hard times. And then when when you start seeing the rainbow come out and you've learned the consistency and discipline of battling, all of a sudden the attraction that you give out will just shine through and things will start coming, because you've reaped the harvest in your battle, in the grit, in the grind. I turn to the Bible every morning because I think it's the most powerful thing to put in my head to help me battle. You can turn to what you want, but Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so he is." Do you get that this is attraction marketing? Do you understand if you have trouble getting promoters in your business? It could be because of what you're projecting, and you don't even know it because you haven't battled it. Let me tell you a little story. I had a relative who every year we had to go to her place for Christmas. She was a former smoker. And when I walked into the house, I felt suffocated. The smoke was masked by air freshener. The air felt thin. They didn't smoke in the house anymore. They smoked in the garage, but it still festered into the home. And I remember we'd have to stay the night there. About 2 nights. And I remember I kept walking outside and I would just be like, seriously, I had to take just this deep breath, and my skin felt dirty. My lungs felt just clogged up. And I the air freshener just stunk with the blend of what it was masking. And I thought about that today. And then I thought about Christmas and how there was a part of me every year around Christmas that dreaded it coming because I knew I'd have to go stay there. Isn't that crazy? There was a part of me that dreaded Christmas because I knew I'd have to walk into that place, and I knew the way I just felt in it. How many of us have these deep-rooted insecurities and lies going on about us, and we're just trying to mask it and go on, right? Just take a minute and pull yourself back and get in there and battle. If we allow our thoughts to stink, that smell will leak out in every bit of us. Our words, our actions, and our reactions to people. Do you know after you hit MVP and you bring on a couple promoters, this business shifts entirely? It shifts to interpersonal relationship skills and communication and leadership and team building. And team, if you ain't working on you, you're going to blow people out. I've done it. You've got to start fixing what's in here as you take action. Okay? Don't let fixing also take you out of the action. That's loser mentality. As we grow, we fail. And you can't put something on the shelf and say, I'll be back to it. Listen, you've got to keep wrestling as you go. We don't have the luxury in life to go take some 6-week hiatus and detox and become an amazing person. I mean, I don't. You've got to learn to balance and work as you go. That's why the DMOs are so important. Here's the other thing. For those of you There are so many on this call today because I know, because I hear you, I relate to you, I've been there, I am there on a daily basis and I'm battling it, okay? But I want you to assess something, all right? Do you rejoice for others? Are you happy for other people succeeding? And I want you to honestly think about that. It could be somebody on your team you're struggling with, their success, their happiness. It could be somebody in a cross line that when you see that person, it brings in an ugly to you. It's not about them, guys. You're the one who has to live in the smoke, right? Like, you're the one who has to clean it up. It is not their problem that they are having success and working hard. It's you. You've got to honestly ask yourself, am I rejoicing in other people's victories? If I'm not, which some days, guys, I know I'm not either. This is what you have to do. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You need to put your freaking blinders on because it ain't serving you. And you need to work on yourself. And then what you can do is go like this. And if you're happy and excited for that person and rejoicing with them in victory, then you can go like this. But if it's messing you up and taking you out of your action and your activity and your dreams and your goals, then you put that blinder right back up, because we'll say you're not emotionally mature enough to take the blinders down yet. You're still a baby drinking the milk. And that's okay. Because if you don't identify it, I can't handle the meat. I can't be at a level where I'm okay with me. And I know what my goal is, and I'm going to rejoice for her. And I'm going to have a mentality of abundance. If you're not there yet, that's okay. But put those blinders back on to protect yourself so you don't get caught up, choked up, and take yourself out of your business. This is your business. This is your dreams, your goals. Okay? Let me tell you what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about taking yourself out of these Zooms. That's loser. That's loser. And I struggled with that. I'm going to be real with you. Sylvia, who I adore and love, came on, blew up. All these girls came in with this energy. And you know what they had? They had a simplicity about the business that I did not start with 2 years ago. And I went, whoa, oh my gosh, how are they doing it? How are they doing it? And I saw other people getting off of here say they didn't like the feel, they didn't like the vibe. And I almost went with that. But I got in and I rolled in it and I struggled with it. I struggled in that stink. I fought that stink, right? And then I came back in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest blessing and gift that has happened to my business in 2 years, because I get to start over from ground zero and change and shift some of the things that I've learned that weren't serving, and I couldn't see that it wasn't serving. And now all I can do now is try and go get back those people who pulled themselves away with it and still aren't producing. They're still struggling. They're still in loser language mentality. They're not doing nothing. Like, lean in to people with victory. All right. All you got to do is show up here to find out what they're doing. And then you got to start practicing, putting application, putting theory into motion. And I promise you, like, I could not love her and those girls more, because they brought back to me like this abundance mindset, this mentality, this new way of teaching people coming into the business to quit doing what I was doing. It's too complicated. It's so simple now. You got to work on you. You got to get the stink out, And then you got to get to having a conversation every day, however fast and hard you want to go. That's how many times you say, what do you know about ketosis? That's how many socials you're willing to share. That's how many markets you're willing to go into and invest in those people who are showing you they're opening up the conversation a lot, right? It's so simple, such a simple shift. And if I would have let my delusionment or my stink take me away from the game versus in, I wouldn't be here with you now. I wouldn't be standing here being able to share the experience of victory and struggling with the thought and coming out victoriously. All right. So lean into the people and the tribe that's full of energy and success. And then you get on your knees in the morning. You find out what you're struggling with, you identify it, and you work on yourself. But what I'm talking about is the comparison game on Facebook. I'm talking about when you're literally spending too much time looking at other people saying, why can't I do what she does? I'll never be good at this. Stop doing that. Number one, you should be sending outbound messages. Number two, I'll give you permission to do it if you're actually looking at what they're doing and you're trying to model and mimic. And it may be outside your personality type, and it may be like not you. And if it doesn't feel good to you, then you're coming from probably an awkward energy. Sometimes you got to go in with an awkward energy and you got to fail with it to learn from it. So try it, see if it resonates, see if you can practice through it. See if it's serving you. Everything takes application. If you got an idea that's outside the box, do it. Let the numbers speak in that new volume, whether it's working or not. That's a judge of what's working and what's not working. And then shift and pivot. Watch people having success if you can handle it. And you need to get to a place where you can handle it, because modeling is the best teacher. Let's see here. All right. So the practice, if you're struggling today with the comparison game, here's what I want you to do. Okay. Find out what it is. Maybe find out who it is. All right. Let's say for women, I think it's so much about a who. I think we can really test ourselves to see if our heart is pure and clean with the who. And here's something to do. Think about wishing success and abundance on that person. You're coming from a scarcity mindset and you think somebody has something that you don't have, like you're taking yourself out of the game of being uniquely you and attracting people like you and attracting your niche. Your niche is powerful because you're powerful. So stop trying to play in someone else's ball game. You could probably blow up your own even more if you got really in tune with who you were and what you wanted. All right. Learn to celebrate the success of others, whether you're on your team, whether they're, on Michael Rutherford's team, whether it's your, best friend who got a new job. Teach yourself the practice of celebrating. Sometimes we do have to fake it till we make it. If you're struggling in your heart, sometimes, as Mitch Newman says, reach out to the people you're struggling with and give them a word of encouragement. Now, if y'all start giving me words of encouragement, it's going to hurt my feelings. But seriously, practice writing a letter to somebody. Practice celebrating. Practice the art of celebrating with other people. And for me, I pray. I pray for other people because I feel like it shifts my heart if I'm struggling. So all you have to do is very simple. Clean up your mental game. Be willing to battle and struggle with it and take action, because I promise you, if you are not taking action, that you will start having a mental struggle and a mental game. and you will put yourself further and further down the bench, and you will get more envious, more jealous, and more apt to watch everybody else play, and you'll forget how to play. And you'll start rolling around in the stink. And then when you go try and play, you're going to bring in stinky people. I want warrior Athenas. I want victorious women. You know what? You know what I want? I wrote it down, because if I can't be this, I can't attract this. Sitting right here, it says charisma, resourceful, hardworking, confident, relational, focused, passionate, driven, brave. And if you're brave, you don't have to be any of the above. You really don't. If you're brave, you're going to wrestle around in the stink, and one by one, these qualities that you manifest and that you want and that you model after someone that has will become you. And then you will turn around and you will manifest and attract that into your business. So all I'm saying is send 20 outbound messages today, because you need to be freaking brave to get the conversation started. And tomorrow, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you make sure you're cleaning out your smoky house or just move out of that house, right? Stop with the air freshener. Stop masking it. Dig in and wrestle with it and get it out of there. And then go do your job. Get off the bench and get in the game. And stop looking for 1,000 other ways to work this business besides being brave and starting a conversation with something I know you believe in. I know you're passionate about this. Stop wasting time. Stop trying to find another way to do it. It works. It's simple. And if you can't send that outbound message, or you can't pick up the phone and call, you need to go back to cleaning. What is it in me that won't allow me to break through and just forget about myself and go care about someone else and start the conversation? That's right. Go back to your I am statement. There is a reason why we do this. And guys, if you are struggling, by the way, this is an ever-going battle. Something will happen to you today. Something will happen to you tomorrow that will disrupt your flow, your peace, your joy. And if you don't learn how to get in there and battle it and conquer it and come out victorious, you can't teach others, and you can't do this 6 months from now. It's the practice of fighting. It's not being perfect. It's the practice of identification. Wow, this really upset me, and I've got about 5 minutes to battle the heck out of this before I get on with my day. I'm going to put it aside right now because I got a job to do. I'm going to come back and spend a little time on this later. But it ain't going to take me off my game right now, but I do need to come back and address it later. All right? Got to crush. We got a business to crush. My numbers are a little behind this month, so I need to end this call right now. Got some outboundings to do and some team coaching to do, some connections to make. I got to get my workout in because I need to be happy. So anyway, I hope this helped you today. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I love people. I hope you love people. I hope you love yourself so you can love people. Let's all get in there and warrior it out today. See you next time.
Thanks, Abigail.